My name is Esther Mwaniki and I'm the founder and CEO of Lapid Leaders Africa. I had the privilege of starting my professional life with an organization that was very intentional in terms of how they trained us, how they coached us, how they mentored us through our professional and also a bit of our personal lives. And I saw the difference between who I was when I finished uni and the period that I was in that organization. And there was significant difference between me and a lot of the other people who didn't go through such an institution. 8 years into my career, I got into banking. And while I had been hearing the conversation of half-baked graduates for a long period of time, this is the first time that I encountered it firsthand. And I had very talented young people reporting to me, but I could see that they hadn't been empowered to be able to drive change within the organization. And that's what we called half-baked graduates. And so as part of that, we started a mentorship program within the organization. And within a short period, we could see the difference within these young people. Just intentional training, mentoring, and coaching had made such a difference in that individual. And so that led me to a conversation around how do we do this on large scale? And that led to the birth of Lapid Leaders Africa. Lapid Leaders Africa is an organization that exists to work with that young person, to equip them with the skills, the mindset, the experiences, the networks that unlock their prowess and enable them to be able to do great things within the continent.
I joined Lapid in 2014, just the second year of my university. I was studying at Kenyatta University. I remember the first time that I joined Lapid. It was a 2-day session. And we were about 16 people in one class. For me, my takeouts were leadership, communication, and problem solving, really. The team and I planned a trip to Rwanda. And this was a 1-week trip just to find out how other organizations were operating in different countries. One of the leading organizations that we actually met there were the Rwanda Development Board. So this board actually makes it easier for companies to come into Rwanda and develop businesses. And I remember being taken through the processes that these companies really were going through and what I had learned at Lapid, and a lot of them merged. And one of them is teamwork, because you cannot be able to build something without great teamwork. And we had a chance to also get into the culture. So we went to the Kigali Memorial, where we learned about the genocide that took place during that time. And it was just an eye-opening experience outside of Kenya, and this was all by Lapid.
While I was in campus, I was feeling really busy. I was running 2 businesses. One was a restaurant, and the other one was an IT consultancy, right? And I was also taking a course, which was also very intense. And because of all of this, I was feeling tired, exhausted, and lost, not knowing exactly where all of this was going to lead to. And that's when my friend Derek introduced me to Lapid. During the Lapid program, there are 3 key pillars: lead self, lead marketplace, and lead Africa. In the lead marketplace pillar, you learn about entrepreneurship. And how you learn about it is you have the theoretical part, where you sit in class, learn how to develop business model canvases and business plans. After that, you actually have to go out and build the business by doing market research, iterating on your minimal viable product or your business itself, and then delivering the service to your customers. And what this does is that it reinforces what you learned in the theoretical part while giving you additional insights which you can't learn by sitting in a classroom. And that is how Lapid helps you go on the entrepreneurship journey. After Lapid, the same friend who introduced me to Lapid, called Derek, introduced me to another program called Meltwater Mest. And what they do at the program is that they take young entrepreneurs all over Africa and train them on how to start software businesses which are scalable while solving the continent's problem, right? Luckily for us, the problem that we were able to identify was that the informal retailers, the dookers or the mom and pop shops, have a challenge where they're not able to compete with the big retailers because they buy their products at an expensive price, right? So what we do is that we provide them with affordable access to inventory by aggregating their buying power. While doing this, we also digitize their records, which helps them get access to credit facilities, and we also use the same data to give them working capital. Fortunately, after finishing the program and pitching our business, we were able to secure funding of $100,000, and we were able to start our business called Quasar Technology, which is now based in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Cedar Africa Group, we are a organizational change and talent management firm. What that basically means is that we help organizations identify talent, either helping them with strategies to map the talent that they need, and then how to attract on board and develop that talent in the organizations. Some of the challenges that we see with graduates currently is very linear, one-way thinking. Individuals who I think are used to being told and therefore look at the boss as being the end all with whatever either problem needs to be resolved or decision that needs to be made and so forth. And whereas I had said earlier, the type of individuals we need in our organization are people that can look at a problem from all angles and generate solutions. So what we have in contrast is very one-way myopic thinkers. We also have, the other challenge I think we see quite a bit is just poor communication, inability to convey thoughts, ideas, express views either orally or in writing. We came across Lapid a few years ago when we were looking for new graduates. And what stood out with the talents that we got from Lapid was individuals who were clear out-of-the-box thinkers. Individuals that were not afraid of challenging the status quo respectfully, asking why we're doing things the way we're doing it. And in that process of being asked why, it gets us as leadership to sort of take a step back and question, actually, why are we doing things the way we're doing things? The Lapid program is, I think, doing a fantastic job in bridging what our university system is producing vis-a-vis the reality of work. So I'd say it is almost like a bridging program, and that we have benefited from it in terms of the fruit of the skills that we're seeing in those graduates.
It's pretty interesting if you asked me now where I would be 3 years ago without coming into Lapid. One, I was a very young boy with no direction. I did not know how to write my CV. Sometimes I laugh about it when I think about how I used to write my CVs and how I do them now, and how I even advise people how to do them now. There's a huge contrast. It has shown me that being able to connect the real me and the real world is easier done when you are one, assertive, and one, full of energy, and two, you have goals set. And Lapid really has drawn that map for me until now.
So far, we have run a flagship program that has worked with 618 young leaders, fresh university students, and we've taken them through the program, and they are becoming leaders who are making a difference. Our goal in the next 5 years is to work with 15,000 young leaders and to accelerate them towards being the leaders that make a difference within the continent. We will also continue to build on other programs on what we have right now. So we've rolled out a program that we are calling a digital apprenticeship program that works with businesses to enable them to be able to get access to talent that accelerates them in digital marketing and data analytics conversations. We also want to continue to grow a program that we call Crossroads that works with our young professionals who are more than 5 years of experience up until 10 years. And we'll continue to accelerate that and grow it into a bigger program in the coming years. We have a partnership with Mount Kenya University that we hold dear. It enables us to be able to access university students from across the country and sometimes even across the region, and we value that. We want to continue to build on those partnerships, and so we want to build partnerships with new universities. We're in conversations with 2 other universities, but are looking forward to forming many more partnerships with universities. We also have corporate partners that we also hold very dearly, because we believe that this work is work for society, and that for us to be able to move it forward into the 15,000 young leaders, we have to be able to incorporate the whole of society, and at the center of that is corporate partners. We have employment partners that hire some of our students, and we want to be able to continue to build on that by getting many more employment partners that provide our students with the opportunity to build on the things that they've learned within the organization, but also they add value to those businesses. We want to continue to work with our global partners. Some of our key global partners at the moment are the Obama Foundation, who've played a key part in us reimagining the possible. And we want to continue to build on global partnerships that enable us to provide a platform for young people to shine across the world. And lastly, we have worked with young leaders from the region. And so we have a program that enables our students to be able to go to a study trip within the region. And that's what we call an Africa Experience. And so far, our students have visited Rwanda, Zambia, Ethiopia, and Uganda. And as they do that, they meet with corporate leaders, they meet with government leaders, and in the process, build a Pan-African mindset. Over the next 5 years, we want to be able to build up on that by one, having students, an increase in the students that we get from the region go through the program, but two, also continue to send our students to countries outside Kenya, because we believe that it's important for us to build a movement of Pan-African young leaders who will make a difference within the continent. And so one of our bigger goals is continue to send students on the Africa experiences, but to also continue to get more students from those countries going through the program. We also heavily invested in ensuring that the women in this continent are represented in the process of building the next generation of this continent. And because of that, we have goals to ensure that our program has a certain, at least 60% of our program is young women who go through the program and ultimately who build solutions within the continent. Just because we believe when women move forward, the continent moves forward.